and go ahead, do it.
It's starting. You want to keep your camera on you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Um, welcome, everyone, and no one at the same time. This is Gov-Na LoOpy back again with another awesome podcast. We have Killzown. Say hi, Killzown.
Hi.
And we have Momma Tre coming and possibly Sumo Tre. Today we gonna rant. And when I rant, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. That's all I got to say.
Before we get started, I just want to say the views and opinions expressed are not of Killzown, Decent Bits, or the like.
Wait. Use right to pause, because before I rant, I'm so eager to rant. But before I rant, I want to shout out to this dude that I was watching his video today. His name is Immortal Mindz. And he has a video called "What Nice Guys Don't Understand," and I really like that video.
So what happened? I ain't watch it.
Well, basically, this is my interpretation. I may interpret things differently. He's saying, to me, it sounds like he's saying nice guy is naive. So I want to remove the nice and go with naive. Naivety, it like repels women. Personally, what I feel women look for is strength, vision, and confidence. And naive, or what you call nice guys, they don't tend to have it. And if you're gonna let me walk all over you, then that's weakness. So that's what I really liked about his video. Now,
but explain like naive in the sense of what?
In the sense that it's whatever you want. It's like there's no pushback. You know what I'm saying? There's no. It's like, give me this, okay. Give me that, okay.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this.
If she wants that same thing, if you was to say, "Hey, give me that, please," put a please on it, and she'd be like, "No," because you trusted that she would do what you would do automatically. You giving her all of this without the knowledge of whether or not she's going to give it back, and you're not really supposed to operate on the sense of, are they really going to give it back? But you are supposed to operate in the sense of, I'm not going to let anyone take advantage of me. If I can take advantage of you, how many other women or people are trying to take advantage of you?
Well, you know, you're right. And that's the thing, like dudes, the reason why dudes are nice guys, it goes back into like...
Oh, don't say it. You will not say that word on my show.
What?
The S word.
No, I wasn't gonna say the S words. I was saying that they were raised to be that way, and they're raised typically, you know. I mean, I hate to say it, but Mr. Controversy, here, you know, by a single mother, and you know, when you're raised by a single mother, and you're raised to be the gentleman that you know that you're supposed to be after you get the woman, you know. Then you know you tend to skip a step, and you skip a step. Like we was talking about this the other night. When you skip a step and you thinking automatically ahead, it's like you have to deprogram yourself as a man. And I feel like a lot of dudes feel like they have to be this uber gentleman when in reality they're not. And the reason why they are raised this way is so that in the hopes that they are so lame and so boring and so ill-equipped that no woman will want to have sex with them, and it create another baby that cannot be cared for the proper way. You know, that's generally a single mother, unless they got like even if the father of the child is what the hell?
Just
even if the
ignore that. Keep.
hey,
Mama
turn it
Tay
was
like to
all
slam doors. Okay.
it was all in my headphones. No, I'm saying even if the child is what's the word I'm looking for? Even if the child is grown is raised in a well off environment, it's still a turnoff because you mama's baby. So basically, I mean that's just what happens. And see, that's why you got incels. That's why you got I mean, hell, you don't want me to say it, but I can say it. I
Go
mean,
ahead, say it.
that's why you got simping. That's why you got because this is learned behavior. I'm not gonna say it's a black woman's fault to want her child to be better, but she, her son to be better than the child's father. But it's at the detriment of the child because the child, you know, once he grows up and tries to get in women and try to maybe find a wife or whatever or try to even just if he's trying to hook up, he gonna have a extremely hard time because nobody nobody would want to talk to him if he ain't got game and he ain't got nothing to say that's gonna appease a woman. And then it deals with the type of woman. Like, there are women that like old fashioned men, but in 2018 it's not a factor. But he's right in that aspect. Next topic. Because I'll get in a Rambo road mode.
You had 2 more minutes. All right. Now to my rant.
Oh hell. Here we go.
All right. So I'm a little late on this, but I came across some things about this comedian named Lil Duval. So how you say his name, Duval?
Duval.
Okay.
Like Duval, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his name. Anyway, I came across this comedian, and I was like, okay. I came across the controversy, and basically what he said was, "Is that you?"
Mm-mm. No, it ain't me.
Yeah, it is, because it goes away when I mute you.
Hold on, wait a minute. It might be the. Hold up. Wait. Okay. Now, do you hear it?
Only a little bit. We talk
Oh,
loud enough for that not to be a factor.
hold on. I know what I'm finna do. I know exactly what it is. I thought I could be a hero, but continue. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically what he said was, if he finds out that a woman that he was intimate with was a transgender woman and did not tell him before they were intimate she was a transgender woman, he said, I know this sound bad. I don't have the video, so I don't have the context whether he was joking or not. He said, I know this sound bad, but they have to die. He said, because there's no repercussions for that right now, and there needs to be repercussions, and until then, I have my own repercussions, and you gotta die. Do I feel like death is a little bit extreme? Yes. Do I feel like he should be the person that they use to try to make an example out of to prove that they can't be talked about? Like, they want to be like everybody else, but you can't say anything about them at all that they don't agree with. That's how I feel. You can like it, dislike it. I don't care. My point is, I don't know how the sex works with a transgender person. Somebody at work told me that even after they have the surgery, they cannot have sex. It still has to go through the booty. So obviously, he don't know how transgender sex work. Either way, it's gay. I'm sorry. And if a person is not gay, then you're taking that option from them. I will see if this person enjoyed something along those lines, or enjoyed transgender or gay men, or enjoyed all of that. It's not bad. I don't care. Live your life. But to go meet up with someone, know that they're straight and they're into women only, That means they're not into transgender women. Yes, there is a difference. And you know that this is what they're into, and you don't tell them until after you've kissed on. It has to be just kiss and touch and stuff, because from what I understand, sex is very different with a transgender person.
It has to be. That's the definition of transgender. It's not. It's not. If it's a woman or a man, it will require a sex change operation.
Exactly. And somebody online was like, "Well, once the operation is complete, they're no longer they are a female. They are a woman. If you are, then how come you still got to take it up the butt?" Now, again, I'm not judging your lifestyle, but I am saying that if you, not everybody wants to live that lifestyle or enjoys that lifestyle. And just like you don't enjoy the hetero lifestyle, I mean, nobody's forcing you to be heterosexual. You can't take or remove that option away from anyone. So I don't feel bad.
What I'm going to say is this. What I'm gonna say is, I believe that you just, they can have vaginal sex, they just won't have the nerve endings, they won't have the reproductive, they don't have that. So my whole thing with this is he said this was like maybe a year or two ago, and now you know how it always is. They wait till he blew up because he had that living my best life song. And they waited 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 and till he blew up. And see, my thing about this is yeah, people are going to boycott, people are going to be, because we've given everybody a platform. Really, I'm not gonna say give it, it's been paid for. Like, it's been paid for, and I mean I'm for the rights of the LGBT community, because nobody should be beaten, killed, you know what I'm saying, because they are homosexual, or not homosexual, but just have a different any other social what's someone trying to say, any other sexual orientation other than heterosexual. Like, they should not be persecuted. They should not be killed. They should not be this, and this. But if they view themselves as a woman, they want to be treated that way. And we haven't gotten to that place where everybody is just down. Like you said, everybody is down with it. And people, I feel like, because it happened to me. Like, I was, a couple years ago, I was on a dating site, and I had swiped right on this who I thought was a girl picture, but when the person messaged me, I realized I knew that person. And what ended up happening was they accused me of being biased towards the LGBT community. And they tried to call themselves blackmailing me. So I screenshotted the messages and everything and saved them. Nothing ever came of it, but it's just that he was like, or she was like, well, you like my picture or whatever. And I said, well, you know what? I didn't look at your profile to realize, first of all, I know you. Second of all, I'm not into that. It's nothing against you. I'm just not into that. And so
exactly.
But they don't care, because this is the thing about it. They perpetuate the image of a woman. So they want that same. They want, if you
want me to not attack you for your lifestyle, but you're going to attack me for not living your lifestyle. It's reversing now. It's all reversing. And my huge issue wasn't really necessarily that they got out of hand about that. My biggest issue is they started messing with his money.
But that's the thing. They got
his show canceled last year. They tried to cancel it again.
Well, see, this is the thing about it, though. It's just that unless you gonna pay to, basically pay it's basically like, dudes in the hood extort artists, aka Tekashi 69, just so that they can say that they gangster and they could be, all in the mix and shit like that. That's kind of you have to do for gay people in the LGBT community, because you know why? And I applaud them for this. It's basically, I applaud them for uniting together to invoke change. Now, I don't like the change that they are invoking. And I feel like if black folks came together on that level, we would really have some shit going. But it's wrong the fact that they are bogarting and strong arming people into um into thinking this way, into acting this way, into being this way. And it's going to continue until you have a group of people that are going to stand up and say, look, we are for y'all rights, but we're not for the demasculation of men. And, you know, people need to be less sensitive. But until then, it's just going to continue to be this rut of people being, and everybody is sensitive. It's not just the LGBT community. If you say something about black women in certain circles, they getting you the hell on out of here. If you definitely say something about the Jewish community, they getting you the fuck on out of here. So it's just, you got to watch on who you talking to and who you, you know, nowadays, unfortunately, unless your money is stupid long to where you can fight all these defamation cases, and they like TMZ and all these Me Too people, like they gonna find some dirt. What, you know, no matter what, they gonna find dirt. They gonna find deformative information.
I'll talk about it a little bit. Let's come back.
But that's what I'm saying. So they gonna get mad regard, and he knew, and he didn't give a fuck. He said, "Look, I don't care how people take it. This is just me." And men should be able to say. That's why I have to. It's sad, but I had to ask people. No disrespect, you know. And when I was dating, no disrespect. Are you transgender?
Okay,
you know
so here's my thing. Why do you have to ask Killzown? That should not be something, because if they're so proud of it,
yeah.
Why do I have to ask you? If this is who you are and who you want to be and who you want to be recognized as and what you identify as, and you're very proud of that fact, then why do I have to be tricked into having some kind of relation with you without you disclosing honestly that this is who you are? And that's what frustrates me about the LGBTQ community, is that we can literally have a parade where everybody is just being they self in that parade, right? You yourself. I mean, they come out dressed as whatever they want, doing whatever they want, and they call it pride. That's what they call it. I am proud to be who I am, and like you said, living your best life early. This is Momma Tre, by the way. I just had to jump in on this rant because it irks my soul as well. So you're proud of it. I don't knock you for it, because you're going to do you. You got to live your life. So why can't you be proud of it when you meet somebody and say, hey, by the way, this is me, and I'm living my best life, and disclose who you are? Why do you trick somebody into having relations with you at all? Why is that even a thing? That's my concern. You can't have both ways. You can't be proud and then tricking folk at the same time. Either you're proud or you're ashamed, but be one or the other. Either you out of the closet or in the closet. But don't get mad at me, because if you were to disclose to me who you really were, and I decide that that's not my cup of tea, but instead you want to trick me into knowing or into having relations with you, and then I find out later on, and then you mad at me for being mad. How is that possible?
Correct.
So that's what bothers me about it.
I'm saying nowadays you do have, like nowadays a lot of people are coming to the forefront, but you still got those same folks that want to be behind the curtain, and then they'll tell you when they feel comfortable, hey, this is what's up. But a lot of people, that the reason why they do that is because they know that men aren't. It's certain men that's cool with that. Like the particular person that I was talking about, he had a relationship with a who I thought was a heterosexual guy, and he may be heterosexual, but he might. I mean, I don't know. The whole point of it is he had a whole relationship, and that I don't, you know what I'm saying?
So again, but if that whole relationship was okay and that person knew who you were, like when they come to you, at least they came to you and asked you, were you interested, and they were they self, and then you were able to honestly disclose you're not. But to me, the fact that you had to ask somebody are they first? Is a crying shame. That's what frustrates.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
you can't keep it real. And you can't ask questions, and you can't give your opinion because they will shut you down. So it's kind of like it's like again, it's like the whole thing, like with Jewish people. But I just want black people to have this type of power.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's going on topic. We got to move on to the second part of the rant. It's a 2-part rant.
Okay. 2 parts.
Give me a second. My phone went off. Okay. So the second rant is his name Juelz Santana?
Juelz Santana, yep.
That guy and Kimbella. Is that how you say her name?
Yep, Kimbella, yep.
Word. Okay. Says the girl named Makante. I don't care if y'all know my real name or not. Anyway, what cracks me up is she posted. I mean, I don't know. The worst thing you could do after being with a man for 9 years and he about to go to jail and he proposed right before he go to jail and you been with him for 9 years. To me, the worst thing you could do is post a message encouraging other women to put themselves through that. First of all, if she was really, really waiting for him to give her that ring, if she was waiting, obviously, my personal opinion, God didn't want her to get it. God did not want her to take that option. That was the option that she wanted. So because this is what you're choosing, this is what you get. You get to wait 9 years and then he gets to propose right before prison. I don't to tell other women that if you really love him, you'll wait those 9 years for him to conveniently to propose to you out of convenience. That's what you're doing. You're waiting 9 years for him to propose to you out of convenience.
I mean, hey, it's the thing. When, they wanted to. She wanted to do that, and she chose to stay with that man and be with that man. And I don't think Juelz did take a hit. I think back when they originally were supposed to get married, because I think he was about to propose to her or whatever he said, and he had got knocked for some criminal cases or something. He was at the wrong place. Somebody had did something at the studio that he was with.
Wait. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I know I'm interrupting. Let me pause. So his thing, what he's saying is, I didn't propose like I planned to propose because I got caught doing something or I was in the wrong place and I got arrested. But I got a sentencing or a court date on the December 12th. So I'm gonna propose this second time it happened.
I think too, the thing about it is too, because honestly, he wanted to make sure that she still had access to the money. I think that's happened. If you flip it over to Fabulous, because Fabulous also was accused of abusing his wife and all different type. They had just got married right before this, in like a secret ceremony or whatever. A lot of that is to give power of attorney to the wife, because
if you give power of attorney to a woman you've been beating?
Well, I mean, we don't know they still together. So my thing is they work towards it, and then Swiss Beast had said something the other day. He was saying about his relationship with Mashonda, which he cheated on her and then got with Alicia Keys, and they're happily co-parenting. Like Mashonda is with them. Same thing with Will and Jada and his ex-wife. Like, we're so concerned with their relationships, and we're so concerned with what they got going on, and we're basically upset that she would even part her lips to say that. We already know people got common sense, and I was just talking to somebody.
No, they don't. Obviously, she's proof that they don't.
I mean, but people got common sense to know that you ain't gonna wait around. You ain't finna wait around 10 years for a man to mess up. First of all, he ain't been committed to you. He been cheating on you, beating on you. He done been out here in these streets. He been causing all type of mayhem and ruckus and all that. And now you decide you want to stay with him. So she want to decide that, and she's telling people that it's okay and all that. That's her experience. But everybody else they seen how bad they getting treated. And it's the same thing what people were saying about, you know, other people that's been in bad relationships. Like people been saying this since Tina Turner and Ike and Bobby and Whitney.
Nah. When Tina got up in that movie and told her friend, "It's okay, it's okay."
But that's what I'm saying. Like the one, like we were just having that conversation on Facebook. Me and this young lady on Facebook on her live. Shekinah, right? That's her name on Facebook. Go look at her. I ain't gonna put a whole name out there, but she was up in arms about Future getting this girl pregnant, and then he asked her to go have an abortion, and the doctor told her it'd be dangerous to have an abortion, so she kept it. And she got up in arms. A whole bunch of people got up in arms about that, and then mysteriously something happened to her, or she had made a police report saying that he had threatened her and was in fear for her life. So now it's going to be some court drama or whatever. My whole thing is this. We get up in arms about stuff that ain't not even our business. So unless we able to pull people to the side and say, yo, this ain't the move, or yo, we don't know these people personally, and they put their own business out there. Because if, you know.
Well, see, I don't really get up in arms about people living their life. If that's how they living, I don't care. I don't care. That's why I don't speak on celebrities a whole lot. What I get up in arms about is you having a platform and advising other women and young women to do what you did.
I have to agree. Working in a school with a bunch of middle school girls, you don't know how many walked up to me talking about, I want to be a basketball wife when I grow up. Really? That's what you want to aspire to. Is that what we're looking at? Some of them were joking, but some of them were very serious. So you are obviously a role model. You're obviously somebody out here watching. Now, are you telling me that this is what you want for your daughters? Is this the type of life you want for your daughters? Because like you said earlier, something about young men and men wanting their sons to be better, or wives wanting or children or women wanting their sons to be better, to go farther than their fathers. I think that that's the curse of every parent. We want all of our kids to do better and to be better. But are you really telling me that this is what you're telling all of these 13-year-old girls out here that are watching you, to wait 9 years for somebody that beat you and abused and talked to you badly? Is that the advice that we're giving? I think that that's where Mickey's at, and that's where I kind of have to agree. You're a role model. You live your life. Do your thing. Look, live your truth. Be happy.
And even if you are in everybody's faces, don't give advice. You're not good at it. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree. But it's like she's saying this, and I agree to a certain extent, because we still have to promote, like you said, people got to be into their kids. To that note, I have to say people got to be. I'm
gonna totally disagree.
No.
We have to promote when we do well. Yeah. We already have an oversaturated material of us not doing well, of us taking stuff that we shouldn't take. So you telling me that her message saying you should stick by somebody who treats you like crap, her message saying that because eventually he'll put a ring on your finger, that's what we're doing?
No, I'm saying, hold on. What I'm saying is, like you were saying, Mama Tay, back when I knew when I was growing up, and it's sad that I see these parents let these kids onto these platforms and let these kids have. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16, 17. It was people that I knew had cell phones since they was 8, and nowadays these kids got smartphones with access to the internet, porn, explicit content, and everything. Their parents just letting them
get to the point.
The whole point of it is it goes back to the parenting, and it's all this is by design. So they know we got to hold these people to task, because we know that these kids is on there watching these shows, because ain't no kids supposed to be even watching Basketball Wives. They on there cussing, throwing, but their parents are allowing them to watch that, because the idiot box is a babysitter. The phone is a babysitter. The game is a babysitter. Instead of them saying, you know what, you ain't finna watch this. Like, you ain't finna do this. These parents are unequipped, and then you got these people that are they're building up These people like Kimbella, these gangster rappers, these Instagram models, they're building up these people, and the masses that are building them up are coming from the same place that Kimbella has. So
okay, why? But this rant is about her stupid advice.
I know, but I'm saying we wouldn't even be we have positivity and growth and all of that. I'm just saying, like, we're giving, even talking about this, we're giving it even more light.
Well, see, let's think about this. Momma Tre, she's focused on kids. When I say young women, I'm talking about women over the age of 18. That means women who are of age, old enough to see it, but are still lost and not sure how they're gonna keep going. And then, oh, this lady looks like they're doing well. It looks like they're on TV, this and this. She got a man to propose. I would like a man to propose one day. And she says that if you stick with him, no matter what, it's going to work. No.
I mean, well, you know.
No, if you stick with him no matter what, and he treats you right, and you treat him right, it's going to work.
I agree. But you got it, again, we need to promote. I mean, while we talking about this and saying it, I'm saying we can complain about it. That's not going to stop her from still doing it. Ain't going to stop.
The point of the rant. The point of the rant is to rant. That's why it's a rant. It's supposed to be quick, and it's supposed to be like, grr.
Well, you know me, but I mean, no, but see, this is the thing. You know, we're dealing with me. I'm all about the solution. So while we having a rant about it,
you saying you a man. You a man. Because you want to fix it. You can't fix it. That's why it's a rant, and it's supposed to end quickly. You're supposed to move on.
We can fix it if we promote the positive image. So that's all I'm saying.
The positiveness of allowing people to rant and then moving on.
I think that the problem is it's too many-fold for us to fix. Like you said, some things have to be done together as a society. If we came together as Black people, that would be very different. If we came together with one initiative and to set goals so that we put our best foot forward as a people, then that definitely can be done, Killzown. I totally agree. But unfortunately, a lot of our people about that paper. And that paper tends to pay drama, and it tends to pay sex sales and drama sales. So they're gonna act the fool because people pay attention. Like you said, they gotta promote how they promote. And in order you to promote and get some money, I told my daughter earlier, she don't love him, but she liked to listen to this Derek Jackson guy. I said, I like to listen to some of his stuff too. I said, but I never forget that all of this is he does this for a living. This is a platform for him. And he does the research, and he gets into a lot of the psychological issues that relationships go through. But I never lose sight of the fact that he's a single man. And until I see him successfully walking. Go ahead.
And would he still be doing this if he wasn't getting paid for it? That's the question everybody needs to ask. He did it for a long
time without being paid for it.
Well,
just like you do what you do without being paid for it. It's something you enjoy doing. But if somebody was to happen to pay you for it, you keep doing it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you saying, I don't. Even with me though, don't take what I'm saying. Take what I'm saying as a grain of salt and add it to your repertoire, because I made a video about this. What worked for you won't always work for me, or won't work for you at all.
All right, 30 seconds, because we're way off topic and we gotta get into story time.
But go ahead. We can keep it going. That's all I was saying, is that we can give the advice. We could chastise other. Like I was just having a debate on Facebook with somebody about, you know, people giving in the church and how people, he was saying that people was getting brainwashed into doing it, and we just kept going down the rabbit hole. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it pays to just ignore certain things, and sometimes it pays to address certain things. But you can only change certain stuff by living by example.
Yeah, and also let me say this real quick, and then I'll go into the story time. If you come to a building every week for free, you don't have to pay anything, and you sit in it, it'd be nice if you put some offering in the plate. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You lucky they don't charge you for stepping in the door. Now, on to story time. This time I'm going to be doing story time. I know listening to me talk for a story, but I'm going to try to make my story time quick. I couldn't find a title for this story. I'm just going to go with that one time that I allowed my impatience and temper to lead a friend astray. Let's go with that. So I got this friend. Had this friend, I guess. We're going to call him Bobo. So I had this friend named Bobo. I gave him a nickname, Bobo. We were working together. And well, let's say his real name is Bojan. And I nicknamed him Bobo. And we were working together. And we clicked because we were the two weirdos out of everybody else. Everybody else seemed a little bit somewhat normal. We were just weird. So we clicked and we had a friendship almost immediately. And we started to hang out, but like just friends, totally platonic. And at one point in time, he expressed interest in me, but only sexually. That's all he wanted. Because he said, I'm not ready. Hey, I know we're friends, but I was wondering if this would be cool because I'm not, I don't really want this, but I want that. And I was like, I don't really do that. And he was like, oh, well, okay. And then we went about our business and kept being friends. And fast forward, I have a Christmas party around this time. And the day of the Christmas party, he says, this is not word for word, but I'm trying to get it word for word. He says, I'm lonely and I really want to be with someone. And I was wondering if you had an interest in me in that way. And I said, nah. Like, I'm going to be honest. Nah. And let me explain why I said that. I said that because he came to me after not being able to get sex out of anybody else and said to me, I'm lonely, so this is what I heard as a female. I'm lonely, I can't get anybody else, so you'll do. That's what I heard. I don't know if every other female hears it like that. I don't know if every other man hears it like that. I don't know if he heard himself. But that's what I heard. And I said, chill. I'll help you find somebody. We'll get you somebody, okay? But it ain't going to be me. Tell you that right now. So then this is chick that showed to my Christmas party. And, oh, no, it was a New Year's Eve party. I'm sorry. It showed up to my New Year's Eve party. And I had best friend. We're going to call him the Panda. I had best friend there. And it was actually his chick. They were on the rocks. Like, it was some stuff going down. Like, she was we're not going to get into her. And then I had another buddy there. We're going to call him the Black Bear. I had the Black Bear there. And he can be a little naive, and he's very, very quick to jump on a victim's side when someone looks like a victim. Mm-hmm. You're going to hear the word victim a lot in this story. So apparently they were talking. Bobo ended up talking to the Cruella. That's what we're going to call her. Bobo ended up talking to Cruella. And he was like, hey, he told me, he's like, hey, I got her information, and I was wondering what you thought of her. He wanted my seal of approval on this. I don't know why people come to me for advice. Like, I'm crazy. Like, I have another friend who texts me, and every time he angry with advice, he texts me, and I'm like, I'm not sane. This is not, and you obviously ain't sane if you coming to me. Anyway, so he comes to me, he's like, yo, what do you think? And I was like, yo, let me tell you, I don't think that's a good idea, because Cruella had Black Bear and the Panda playing both of them against each other at the New Year's party. Mm-hmm. And she was saying stuff back and forth, and then I had to get them both. I had to text them both and be like, hello, she's playing with you. Anyway, because both of them were complaining to me. Like, the Black Bear wasn't really interested in her, but he became protective over her over some things that the Panda was supposedly doing. And the panda has no idea. The panda is over here playing with a tetherball, and he's confused about everyone else surrounding him, and he just want to make jokes, okay? The panda like, what? I don't know. So, anyway, this is just a small view of who she is and how she acts. So, I'm like, you shouldn't do that. Don't go down that road. I'm telling you, do not go down that road. And he's fighting me on it. And I'm like, you can go down that road. You are a grown man. But I'm telling you, she's a manipulative bitch. Sorry, Momma Tre. But she is. Sorry, Jesus. But she is. And I told him, I said, there's some stuff that you don't know that went down between her and the panda. Bobo, I'm telling you, talk to the panda and see if the panda will talk to you about it. But it was too late. Ask me why it was too late.
Because they got to fight.
No, because she had already gotten to him. I tell you right now, she's one of the ugliest women I've ever seen in my life. But she knows how to manipulate men. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Because she had already got him. And he had already started feeling bad for her. And she had already niched him into the victim stuff. Let's rewind a little bit. Bobo has that same tendency. Bobo has that same tendency. And you have to call him on it. Sometimes he don't realize he's doing it. Where he's playing, he's playing the victim. He's taking on the role of the victim. Keep in mind about that. So fast forward. And I'm telling him, no, don't do this. It's not a good idea. And he's fighting me on it, going back and forth, defending her, going back and forth. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you. And I got to the point where I was irritated, frustrated, and pissed off. Because I'm like, why would you come and ask me if you're not going to take my advice? Or why would you come and ask me if you were going to fight me on it? What the truth is, you're lonely and you want someone. So ugly or not, she makes you feel like she needs to be protected. When all honesty, she's manipulating you. And I've told you multiple occurrences where this is not where she's done it.
And it's not that she's ugly on the outside.
She is.
Well, whatever. She's ugly on the inside as well. She really is. She's a very hurting individual that really is a nasty person.
My mama met her one time and made that decision like, mm-mm.
And it was not based on anything anyone told me. She just really is that person.
And so then she started messaging me. She's like, hey, are we friends? And this, because he's telling her everything. And I'm like, what? You way too late to ask my advice on this because you already in the trap. So she's like, aren't we friends? And this, and then I lost it. I lost it because I hated her. I hated her because I watched what she did to my best friend. Mm-hmm. And it killed me to watch that. So I hated her a lot. And so I lost my stuff on him. I did. I lost it. I told him, well, if you want to be honest, both of y'all are manipulative and both of y'all are victims. So I actually, you know what? Don't listen to me. Y'all are perfect for each other. End conversation. And I said, go for it. Fast forward, he texts me. It's got to be maybe 6 months to a year. He texts me and asking me what's up, and I was like, what's up? At some point, we were talking about being roommates. He was like, you still in the position where you need a roommate. I could really use help with the rent where I'm at. And I was like, well, weren't you guys, like, when you first met, talking about her moving in with you? Yes.
Dang. Oh, wrong.
Because she's manipulative.
She actually moved in.
Yes. Oh, so, and he goes, yeah. And that's why I was getting upset. I was like, don't let her do it. So he goes, yeah, well, her friend moved in as well, and neither one of them are paying rent. And I'm pretty sure she's going to leave me for this couple that are poly. And they want her to be in their poly relationship. And I said, I'm sorry you hurting. Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry you hurting, friend. Yeah, I can. Just let me know. He said, I'll let you know how it turns out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he goes back and forth. And it turns out she don't end up leaving. I don't know if they kick her out. I don't know how that ends. I don't remember. So that was a dead end. So then he stopped talking to me. Because I also told him at one point, talk to me when you come to your senses. I was angry, okay? And so and fast forward, it got to be a year later. He's messaging me because he needs somebody to talk to. People always want to talk to me when they need somebody to talk to. God damn. Sorry, Jesus. Anyway, and so I'm like, what's going on? Well, he said, she took my baby from me. And I'm like, what? Wait, there's a baby? Y'all done reproduced? Why? Why, Jesus, why? Neither one of y'all should have kids. I love you, Bobo, like my brother, but neither one of y'all should have kids. Both of y'all are dumb in the head. Now, when I say dumb in the head, I mean not right in the head. She's manipulative, conniving, and just something's off. And he is pathologically depressed. Can you say pathologically
You can
depressed?
say that, but he's just really
bro. So for them to have a kid in between them, all I can think about is that poor baby. So he tells me that she called the police on him and said that he beat her. He says he did not beat her. Said they were arguing, they were done arguing, and he fell, and then fell into her, and then pulled her hair as he was trying not to fall. And then she lost it. She had no bruises on her whatsoever. She lost it, ended up calling the police, and took the baby. And apparently, this is what he tells me. I have not looked into it myself. In Illinois, when you report an abuse like that, especially with a child involved, they automatically believe that person till the court date. Take the baby. Especially if that person is low on income and doesn't make very much for a living. That's what he told me. Is that true? I don't know. But I do know he had a court date. And I do know he had a restraining order. A temporary restraining order. And I know that he could not see his daughter. His baby. And all I could think of is, at first, for the first 5 seconds, all I could think of was, dang, if I had not lost my temper, and if I had just been patient with him, maybe he wouldn't be in this situation. But then I was like, no, I'm not taking responsibility for his personal actions. I'm not taking responsibility for that. It's your fault that you stayed, even after the poly situation where she was cheating and then was going to leave him. He still stayed. He still allowed her to come into his home. It was his home. So even with all of that, he still allowed that. And so it's not my fault for losing my temper. To me, I should have better temper and a little bit more patience. Just a little bit. But to me, it was his choices. It was his choices that led him down that road. It was his choosing that he would rather have a manipulative, crazy, ugly, sorry, God, but dang it, shit. Anyway, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people think I'm ugly. I don't care. But he made that decision to keep up with her. He made a decision to reproduce. He made that, like, I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose. I'm pretty sure he told me that. And oh yeah, he said she wanted a baby. And I said, so you gave her a baby? He said, yeah. I said, so y'all did this on purpose? Yes. Why? That's the end of my story. If I keep going, I'm end up ranting. But Bobo, bless his heart, I can't even text and check on him anymore because I get so angry. I get so mad because she showed him who she was, and he accepted it, and now he's going down a path of, I don't even know if he's in jail right now.
I can honestly say I walking through this with you, understanding what this young man was going through, but at the same time, understanding that first of all, He was a codependent personality. So he was a person that had to be with someone who had a problem. He's not a person that could have existed on his own because everything that happens to him has to be somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're broken like that, you have to have somebody else to blame for your not achieving because you don't want to accept the fact. I told my daughter, and if you know, no one knows what a stronghold is, but a stronghold is a thought process that you have created via justifications and reasonings to protect the lie in your mindset. And whatever that lie is, that's where the enemy has control or power over you. And that must be protected with lies and reasonings and justifications. That's called a stronghold. So in order for you to be free of that stronghold, then the strong man, which are the reasonings and the lies and justifications that protect that lie, they have to be broken down and beaten out into submission for you to understand that this thing is a lie. So a lot of people will say, for example, I'm not capable of being monogamous. I love that lie. You know, I'm not capable. I'm a man, and we are men, and we're born as men to procreate. It's part of our nature to not be monogamous. And so now this lie, and then all of these reasons and justifications why we think about sex every 4.5 seconds. You know, we're constantly looking at the newest and brightest thing. We can't control our urges. All of these things can actually be disproven scientifically. All of them can. And when you attack each reasoning and justification to get to the source of the lie, then someone has to either say, oh, well, okay, you've proven all of these things are not right. Now I got to admit, either I'm accepting that this is a lie, or I'm going to tell you, I don't care, I don't believe what you say. No, I'm not listening. And choose to continue to be in that lie. JoJo chose to continue to live the lie that there's always somebody else to blame for his failure. And in order for him to have somebody to blame, you know, he allowed himself into a situation where he heard his friend advising him. He knew not to go there. He knew not to go there, but he chose it anyway because it would give him the perfect excuse. But he could not choose the consequences. And now the boy gonna end up in jail. I bet you he didn't expect that.
Nope.
So a sad story, Loopy. Next time, tell a happier one.
I'll try. All my happy stories are in book set for people that already chose.
Killzown, you ever had a friend like that?
I mean, yeah, I've had friends that have made choices that, you know, that they just want to, you know, be that. And then, you know, some people have said that to me, you know, but I always figure like if you make a choice, whether your mind state may need to be changed as far as how you view people, but your choices are your choices alone. Like you can't, you know, I could have a mind state on how people treat me or whatever. And I'm speaking for me personally, but like, you know, I feel like sometimes I'm not treated the way that I feel like I'm treating other people, or people are not reciprocating. But I have a choice to keep dealing with them same people. I have a choice to, if I, you know, deal with somebody I know I ain't supposed to be dealing with, or deal with somebody that I know I'm not compatible with, and I'm, you know, sexually or whatever the case may be, and it goes on, I have to deal with those consequences. So if that's a baby, if that's an STD, if that's X, Y, and Z, if she gonna leave, this is the thing, I tell brothers this all the time, is when you are dealing with a woman, especially if you got kids, the court is automatically on the woman's side. So it's best for you if you
That's
know
not true anymore.
Well, most of the time
that's not true anymore. I'm telling you, it's not true anymore. The courts have age. You're thinking about the past, and you're thinking about people.
I know right now. If I was
thinking about people you talk to, but I've also been in a position where I talk to people, especially working at a school, and I'm telling you, the majority of the parents were divorced or separated, and the court ruled in whoever's favor was best for the child. It's not about the mother and it's not about the father, it's about the child. And also the courts will rule in generally giving equal rights and having it.
The courts nowadays want to default to joint custody. Now.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, yeah. I'm saying from the aspect of a volatile situation. I'm talking about physical situation, or I'm talking about where, you know, a situation where the man has basically have not been proactive, because those, you know, joint custody and things of that nature. I'm just saying.
If he's not proactive about his children, why should he have joint custody?
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that's exactly what I'm trying to say. And I'm saying that this particular person you talking about wasn't proactive in nothing, because like your mom said, like Mama Tay said, there, you know, he was in it for the wrong reasons. He got into it because he wanted to have sex with this woman, and then somehow he felt like, okay, now I need to be with this woman and stay with this woman, even though she was playing both of these dudes close to the chest, and he allowed that woman to walk all over him. Whereas a man, win, lose, or draw, he gonna deal with the situation, and he's, you know, whether or not things fall in his favor at that particular moment, in that particular instance, the man still has the power to change his situation when dealing with a woman. And this is why, like, especially in the Black community, why the balance of power is so lopsided towards women, because men are too afraid to be men. And, you know, I mean, we've all played a part in it in some type of way, but as far as, you know, he knew what he signed up for. He was trying to have sex, and then when she was giving it to him, he like, oh, well, I might as well stay with him. And that's the thing. Men gotta start thinking with they big head and not they, excuse me, Mom Tay, they dick head. And they gotta look, you like, I'm very, very hands-on, especially when you're talking about sex. I asked the question, hey, if I've been in relationships with people that are like, hey, are you pregnant? When your period coming on? Like, cause I need to know, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm that type of person that if I have a child, I'm going to take care of it and be in his life, no matter what. So I'm careful. Like, I ask, hey, are you on birth control? You know, what kind of condoms do you use? This is the questions that he should have been asking, because he knew he wanted to just have fun. He should have took her.
No, but that's not what happened, though. That's not what happened. She told him, I want a baby, and they did that on purpose.
Well, he still got this goes back to what I've been saying for men that aren't men. Like she said, he wanted somebody to blame. So he is over there saying to the judge or whoever, hey, we decided to have this woman asked me for a baby. I gave it to her. He is going to put all the blame on her, however way it plays out, unless he got some surveillance cameras or something off around that piece. It's not going, I don't see it going a good way for him. But because he was weak-minded and because I had women tell me all the time, hey, take the rub off. You know, let's just do it real quick one time. Come on.
They trying to trap Killzown over here. Killzown be like, clink, not today, devil. Not today.
It's not even about trapping. It's just about, you know, women, if they feel passionate
about it. Any woman to me that asks a man to take the condom off, let's think about this. First of all, if you wanted to feel better, then either get with somebody that want a baby, or, you know, get married. Find someone who wants to marry and marry that person. But no, because you want to feel good, you are telling a man to risk impregnating you. And you don't even know if you could marry this man.
I don't understand what we're talking about. Hold on. I'm lost.
He went off into women asking him to take off his condom.
What? See, I'd have been the door. Right now, the door. The door. Because first of all, I don't know what's been in this before me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who been messing around up in here or what you've been swimming in. And you could have been there an hour before now. I ain't doing sloppy. I don't trust you like that. I don't know you like that.
And who else you done told to take the condom off?
Correct.
Exactly. But I'm saying, I'm saying, you know, it has happened. So don't think for a minute that, because I know fellas is out here, they slipping the condom off halfway through, they busting it on purpose. They even they not pulling out, because you can still, if
but
you
why?
because
But why?
people
Are stupid
want to do what they want to do, and
until
they
they get
not.
with that one chick that put their legs around his back and pull him in.
Well, I mean, this is the thing too. It's not even that. It's just that people are so focused in the now. Like your friend was focused in the right now, and
My friend was focused on not being alone. But go ahead.
no, it's not, because that's, I'm gonna tell you from a man's perspective. A man, yeah, he might say he don't want to be alone, but really what he's saying is he can't get laid, so he wants to get laid. So he don't necessarily want to be. He didn't want to be in a relationship. That girl just got him and saying that, oh, because he's never had a woman tell him that before. He has not played the game long enough or even attempted to do that. Like, he didn't work on himself. He didn't, because it's hard getting out here for a man to meet a woman, to get the woman to agree to his program, whether it's to sleep with him, whether it's to be in a relationship or get married. It's work that has to be done, and a lot of dudes ain't trying to put the work in. And they don't have, they dudes got pride. They don't want to get a dating coach. They don't want to go get in the gym. They don't want to go do it. They feel like, certain women that don't, it's the same thing with women. It's women that don't want to go get in the gym. Women that don't want to take care of their body. Women that don't, it's on both sides. And if you're not willing to put in the work to try to get the person.
Wait. Let me be mean for a second. Women that aren't willing to be feminine enough.
No. I ain't even talking about that, because you could be feminine, you could be natural, but you can still be clean. I ain't mess with nobody that just was stinking. Like, if you stinking, I'm gonna tell you, go ahead, I'm gonna put you in that water if you smelling like tartar, because okay. I can't have.
I hope you smell her before you even decide you want to.
Right, like, if she stinks, like, why is she even in your place?
Oh no! But see, you can't. Sometimes that perfume be strong, and when you don't know till you get there. And I have told her,
she have strong perfume.
I'm just saying, you can't tell when you get them to the room or you get them to your place or whatever. I'm
hoping you spending more time with women, so you like maybe a few dates that you know her perfume, and
I've had it happen to where I've had where a woman has, like, it's been spontaneous. So you've had a spontaneous moment, and you get back.
In the middle of the spontaneous moment, you tell her to go take a shower or a bath.
Oh yeah, because it's finna happen if you sitting up there.
See, that's you thinking with your, what did you call it? Your dickhead?
No.
Yes, it is. Because
baby, if she ain't clean and you gotta tell her to wash her ass, you need to tell her to go home.
Exactly.
The door.
And I made her,
because you grown as hell. The door.
I made her go home after that. We had hung out, but I didn't sleep with her. Period. No. Made her go home, because I know some dudes be like,
shouldn't even be you need a shower though. It's just go home.
No, I ain't that cold. I ain't that cold. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice with it at least.
Now you was testing yourself. You was like, am I still gonna be able to do this? Because I was planning on having. No.
I have canceled it right in the middle of what it was supposed to have been or whatever. And just hung out.
Let's talk about this frivolous need for this generation to just have sex, and don't think that, don't get it twisted. Everybody back in the day was just kicking it left and right, and it's been going on since the 60s. It's been going on way before that, actually. But you know how people are. We hide that from the community because we don't want everybody to know that we was all hoes at one point. But I'm gonna keep it real here. You all are in a generation where herpes is like, it's like 90% of St. Louis has it. You know, it's just that prevalent. You all live in a generation where you know the dangers of child support enforcement. You know the dangers of other venereal diseases that you could get from somebody, and you won't even know you have it. Some men can be carriers of chlamydia and not even have a symptom in their life. But every woman that they get with end up having stomach pains and cramps, and next thing you know, she find out that she has chlamydia. So here's the real deal. And my question for this generation is that why are we so quick knowing the dangers of casual sex? Why are we so quick to keep having it?
Instant gratification.
Why can't I mean listen, and I'm gonna be real with you, Killzown, and I'm gonna tell you just like this.
We're gonna end it on this.
I'm not comfortable, but I tell you this. I told these little girls out here, you can buy it for $29.95 off Amazon, and that thing gonna work well with you and better probably than any man that you ever meet. And if you don't know your own body, how the hell you gonna actually see yourself get pleased by another individual? And these young ladies don't even know what pleasure is. They just go out and let anything bounce up and down on them, and they've never even heard of an orgasm yet. And then some lesbian come around the corner and turn them out because a lesbian know what they want. So now these girls think that they gay. You ain't gay. You just ain't never been pleased by a man because the men that you having sex with don't know what they doing. So we got all of these young people out here jumping up and down on each other that don't know what they do. At least read a book. Read a book. Get online and research and shit. If you're going to do it, then do it right. Oh my God.
There is no shame in, I have done this, I've said it before, there's no shame in watching sex tutorials.
So I can understand if you don't know how to please your partner and you don't know how to be pleasure, but you just want to get out here and get in it to win it and you get out of it. What do you get? To me, that was a bunch of emptiness. It didn't take a lot of encounters for me. It took twice in college for me to go, you know what? This ain't working. It's okay. I'm good. This ain't working. This doesn't work for me doing it on a casual front. What is it about this generation that everybody is just running around willy-nilly like sex is a drug? But I listen to these babies talk and they're not getting nothing out of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but just the thing, I'm gonna say,
you got like 2 seconds because I said she was the last one for the next topic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Both of y'all answer the question.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that as far as like people have casual sex, it's an ego thing, and you feel like when you're young, it's for men. I'm gonna say being proportionate. You're being encouraged by other men around you and your family, your friend group. You are being pressured into that, and then too, like
so
you know, well, no, it's not even that. Then too, you got the media and different things.
So you're weak. You're allowing people outside you to influence your decisions when it comes to your safety. That's weakness.
And then it's like also when you are lonely, because there's a lot of people that are lonely. You got women who are attracted to men who don't want them. Then you got men that are attracted to the woman who are attracted to women that don't want them, but want these other people that don't want them. So it's a circle of loneliness. It's a circle of pride. It's a circle of pressure. It's a whole bunch of things. It's a powder keg of things. And, you know, you got the haves and the have-nots. And then it's like, you don't want to feel like you don't want to feel alone or outcasted or sexually awkward. So you want to participate. And it feels good. I mean, that's the thing. If sex didn't feel good, people wouldn't be like, oh, well, you know, it feels good.
Dude, that's a lot of work for a 20-second, not even a 15-second high. That's a lot of work. Exactly. You're talking about 15, 20 minutes of hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna answer the question, then we got to go on to the next topic.
Okay, answer the question.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with instant gratification and avoidance to vulnerability. So you get the sex, so you get that, and you get sometimes they want to play around. You get that playing house feeling without totally making yourself vulnerable to another person to pursue more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ending that topic, we are going to go in. Why does my phone keep locking? Give me a second.
No.
We are going to go into we're going to go into play the game. Play the game. Y'all know how it is. It's basically love, relationship, dating. It's a whole game. Hate the game. F the game. Sorry, Mama Tay. Sorry, Jesus. Okay. Is honesty truly the best policy? I'm going to go with yes and no. It depends on who you're talking to.
I was going to say honesty about what?
Just honesty in general. I'm going to go within relationships since we're in play the game.
Okay.
It depends on who you're talking to. Me personally, I'm the kind of person that wants to know everything. Not like everything that goes through your head, and not like phrasing it to hurt my feelings or nothing. But like, just like everything. Like, if I ask you a question, I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to think of something that sounds pretty. Tell me the truth. If I didn't want to know the truth, I shouldn't ask, and I wouldn't ask. But not everybody operates like I operate. Some people cannot handle the honesty. Some people don't know how to be honest, and some people honestly just can't be honest, or you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. So let me hear what y'all got to say on it. Is honesty in dating the best policy?
I'm gonna tell you right now, from a Pisces standpoint, honesty is never the best policy. Because it's a Pisces. Now I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna tell you the real, but I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter is that you always live in a fantasy world. You want everybody to be happy, and you want to be happy-go-lucky. And sometimes honesty hurts feelings. You don't ever want to hurt feelings, and sometimes honesty seems counterproductive because it's gonna create a long discussion when a simple "yes, you do look cute in that dress" will get y'all out the door. When what you really want to say is you look like a blip before you put it on, and you look like a blip now. But you don't want to say that because then you won't get out the door anytime soon. So for Pisces, no, honesty is never the best policy. But in reality, to be trusted, if you can't be trusted to communicate effectively what the truth is, not what the truth is, as some people say is relative. Truth is not relative. It's either yes or no. It is or it isn't. It's not relative, and it doesn't change based on who you're dealing with. The truth is the truth. And if they can't trust you to tell the truth, then you don't deserve to be in their inner circle. I have a best friend, Denise, and Denise is not going to let me walk outside with cellulite showing, talking about, girl, yeah, that skirt is cute. Knowing that I will be embarrassed walking up and down the street. She going to be, okay, boo-boo, let's look at the longer skirts. Let's go here and look, because that's my best friend, and she loves me, and she doesn't want me to be embarrassed. She doesn't want my feelings hurt. So she's not going to let me walk outside looking any kind of way, no matter how bad the truth may make me feel. The reality is that I can walk outside looking nice, but I have to look nice for me. That means that I can't wear what everybody else wears, and I can't do what everybody else do. So I have to say that honesty is always the best policy in reality, because those are the people that belong in your inner circle that you can trust, because it protects you and they protect you. So that's what I'm going with. Killzown, you?
I feel like honesty is the best policy when you dating, because it pays to be honest, even if you do anger the person, because you, as a man, I think we're very, 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 like you said, we want to get on with the day. We want to be very PC when it comes to our woman, not to hurt her feelings. But, you know, especially in the beginning, or especially even down the road, honesty is going to put everything on the table, whether the medicine is good or it's bad. It's just, men, I think, need to be more honest, because the reason why women get upset is not because you're doing them wrong. It's not because, you know, whatever, you honest. And I think I'll go back to one of our earlier topics with Kimbella. Kimbella knew what type of dude that Juelz Santana is, and he probably told her from up front what kind of dude he was, even though he had pursued her. So she agreed to that. And she, you know, I know dudes that'll tell a chick off rip, hey, I ain't shit, I ain't gonna be shit, but I want you. Like, I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna steal, I'm gonna do all this to you.
And then they be like, oh, look at him being honest. And I'll be like, really? This is what we doing?
And they go for it. But the dude who, you know, you be nice, and you be this, and this, and then you, like, it could be something as little as, okay, I don't want to go. And they could tell on your face, because you just trying to, after a while, with a man, you're gonna figure it out. Even if he a master hiding it, you're gonna ask him, hey, baby, what's wrong? Hey, honey, what's wrong? And you already know the answer, but he's so used to hiding it or just going along with it because he don't want no drama. He a happy wife, happy life.
That ain't me eventually. That's me in 2.5 seconds because I'm not a mind reader and I don't treat the person that I'm talking to or supposed to have potential with or dating. I don't treat them as if they are a mind reader. So because I do not treat you as if you are a mind reader, and I tell you in the beginning, I tell you who I am, how I am, and what I'm about. And I say I'm crazy and people think I'm joking and I'm not. But I go in and I'm upfront about it. So I don't expect a person that I'm dating to be a mind reader, and they should not expect me to be a mind reader unless I like really know you. And even then, like if I really know you, I know something wrong. Yeah, but I'm not. Even if I notice that something is wrong, if a guy is not going to speak on it, then I am not going to speak on it most of the time until it gets to the point where they're acting funny towards me. Because sometimes when I'm down and I'm not speaking on it, if I'm not speaking on it, I'm thinking on it. And I'm thinking on it before I speak on it to make sure I should either be speaking on it or to make sure I'm speaking on it right.
I have to be honest. This is a hard question because the reality is in relationships, people don't even know how to tell themselves the truth about themselves. It's very difficult to be truthful to your partner when you don't know how to tell yourself the truth. Remember when we talked about those strongholds earlier? You know, we have areas in our mind, in our psyche, where we have built up this lie because we don't want to change. I mean, it's so real, it's ridiculous. But there's a part of me, and it doesn't want to change. So I'm going to allow these reasons and justifications to protect this lie. If I can't get through my own reasonings and justifications and force myself to recognize the truth, not only about me but about those around me, then how in the world can I even be truthful with you in a relationship? And that's when you'll find a lot of relationships have problems because some people, like I'll tell y'all in a minute, I'm petty. I'll laugh about it, I'll joke about it, but I'm also very real about it. It's a part of my personality. If you do something to me, I'm going to notice. And I could be the bigger person and forgive. And most times, Killzown, I try to. But the reality is there's sometimes when I'm going to be petty and do something back because I want you to know that you hurt my feelings. And it might be a little bit passive aggressive or it might be out there and confrontational. But whatever it is, I know that I have that tendency. So I'm going to be very real about it. And when I get to the situation, let's say that Loopy decides that she wants to wear my shoes without my permission. And that irritates me, right? And so I'm frustrated. And what I could do is I can wait till she's laying down and when she sleeps and I can mumble to myself. I really can't stand when people just wear my stuff and don't even ask permission. You know what, that little petty stuff right there, because I want to tell her without telling her that I'm pissed off. You see
Ain't
what
nobody
I mean?
got no time for that. They gave me a headache.
But I've got to recognize that that's me. So instead of just saying, "Hey, Loopy, I would really like it if you don't wear my shoes without permission." Instead of communicating and just putting it out there, you know, I'll do something else. I have my ex-husband. He took his toys and go home. That's what we say. We say whenever he got mad, he'd take his toys and go home.
Like a child.
He would just pack up his stuff and be like, well, I'm going, because I can control what goes on there and you want to do your own thing. So I'm just going to go.
That's probably one of them stories he done made up in his head and there's nothing you can say about it because he is full throttle in his head. You cannot get through.
But then when I ask him about it later, he'll say, oh, well, I just really need to take care of business at home. I really need to do this. I really need to do that. No, you were mad. You were angry about something that happened. And instead of confronting it, you took your stuff and went home. And you chose to punish me by withdrawing yourself and your
presence. I can't live that way. I don't know how you did it, Momma Tre, because I cannot live that way when something is wrong and a person won't communicate with me or at least tell me, give me a second. Like me, I'll tell you, give me a second. I got to get over myself. There's nothing about this that you can fix. So just let me get over myself. Or I'll say, give me a second. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, but the reality is that's a hard question. The truth is very difficult for couples these days simply because they don't know how to tell themselves the truth about themselves.
Yeah, and I know how to do that all too well. But I know I'm I. Go ahead, sorry.
So, I mean, Killzown, you're going to notice that when you go into your next relationship or friendship, you'll notice that this female will say that she expects you to know why she's upset. Sometimes, like I remember told you, and I told Sumo Tre one time, she don't even know why she upset. She just pissed off, and she hasn't taken the time to delve into herself to figure out what's wrong with her. And if she did, she might find out that it ain't really got nothing to do with you, but you triggered something that caused some pain for her in the past. So that's a lot of work. Most people don't do that.
Mama Tay, I'm gonna tell you right now. But as a woman, we know that sometimes even we can think our hardest, but there really sometimes is no reason why we upset. And then I was with a guy. He's like, "Why?" He like, "You did your thinking." And I was like, "I did my thinking." He was like, "Why are you upset?" And I said, "I'm gonna be honest. I don't know." Like,
and I mean that. I really don't.
There's no reason. I said, I've been through it twice in my head. I've asked myself the right questions. Why? And then I ask myself why, and then I ask myself why, and then I come up to, okay, maybe my period is coming next week. That's all I could come, because I'm just like, and then Mama Tay sometimes just be like, why are you so angry? And I just be like, I'm angry. I can't tell you why I'm angry. I'm just angry.
I know with the recent loss of my mom, I think that what hurts me the most is that I know what's making me angry, but I have to be nice to people right now, even though I would rather choke people out because that's my mom. And I feel like I have the perfect excuse. Like, this is the perfect out. Like, if I get pulled over right now, I could tell a police officer, I just lost my mom and the funeral is Monday. So I can have an out. So I should be able to just kind of chop people in their throat, and they should understand.
Well, see, not physically, but words. When I tell you that I have no problem, when I tell you Mama Tay is the only reason why when some people come up to me, I don't look at them and tell them not to touch me, look at me, or talk to me. When I tell you she's the only reason why, ooh, and I ain't got to be dramatic about it. I could be as calm and cool as say. And I'd be like, yeah, don't talk to me.
She really would.
And I know I'm amp, like I have an amp personality. I'm crazy and I'm wired and this. But when I got to be in a public environment and I got to communicate to you non-passive aggressively that you need to get out of my face and stop talking to me because I don't like you, I have no problem being calm. Please do not talk to me. I do not like you.
So I think that's it. That's it, Killzown. You got it from the horse's mouth of women. If she's not telling you the truth in the future, she probably don't know it. Or she'll lie to herself about it.
Same for me.
If she's worth it, you're going to ask her those 5 questions, because 5 questions, 5 whys will always lead you to the 5 what, why, when, where, hows. Those will always lead you to the real reason why. But you gotta keep asking and keep digging. Now, like I said, they won't even know the truth until you get them there. Now, some that want to work with you, that love you, they'll go there with you. But other ones that don't want us to know how ugly they are on the inside, they won't. And if they don't, they're not worth your time because they don't even want to know themselves. So how you think they're gonna want to know you?
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, I've been working on myself because you got to know yourself first, and I think that's what happens. We so quick to want to be, all in these relationships and these situationships and want to lay up and stuff like that, and then we,
man, ain't nobody trying to be in a situationship. That's how you end up in a situationship.
Well, you know that, but still, people want situationships where they got the situation where they want it, and then but somebody got to lose. But I'm just saying, to go back to Mama Tay's point as far as what she was saying, you're right. Hurt people, and you got to know why you hurting so you don't hurt the next person. But I'm gonna have to dip out, y'all. So
peace out.
Peaches.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for talking.
I will be back.
Hey, we just lost our last guy before the emasculation shit.
Oh, the emasculation. Okay.
Now hold on. What was I finna say? Because I saw the topic. It was let me go back and get the show notes right quick. Is emasculation taking over, or wait a minute?
No, it's emasculation versus dying to yourself. It's people confusing them for each other.
Oh, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. As far as that goes, I deal with that every day. Certain people feel like you know, I let certain situations roll off my back, and they feel like I'm just I'm in their eyes I'm emasculating myself or demasculating myself because I'm just letting these things roll off my back. But I know from past experiences that if I deal with a situation a certain way, I'm gonna get this certain outcome. If you know, if I go and raise hell somewhere instead of just being calm, I'm not gonna get.
Well, see, we're not
the
talking
same
about
result.
everywhere. We're talking about in dating.
Oh, and dating. Oh, yeah. So you know, shoot, you deal with that all the time because you got women out here like you know, Kimbella, who is cool with men. You know, think men or was raised to think that men are men to abuse you, use you, mistreat you. And you know, if you get with a man that's not doing that, then you look like a lame to her. Or if you're not living a certain lifestyle, you are doing certain things, you are lame to her. And I just say to that, you know, you got to know who you're dealing with. And if a woman feel like you being a law-abiding citizen, you know, if they feel like a woman, if a woman feels like you too born as a man, you need to find another woman. And you know, women, if a man is asking you to disrespect yourself and you know, harm yourself, take drugs, do all type of stuff, put your life on the line, then you need to find another man. Simple. I'm out, y'all.
All right,
peace. Okay, so what is going to is more like emasculation versus dying to yourself.
Yeah.
And dying to yourself is simply sacrificing something for someone you want to be with. And people think sacrifice, and they think I'm not doing all. Sacrifices don't have to be a lot. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a big thing. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. It's not a large thing. It's not a huge inconvenience. It's simply thinking about someone else before you do something. Mm-hmm. So people have confused that with emasculation. And the reason why people have confused that with emasculation, let's give Mama Tay give a good definition of what emasculation is.
Well, to emasculate means, I believe that it means to take a man's self-respect, or a person, I want to say man because the root word here is masculine, but to take a man's self-respect and to make him feel as if he has no worth. It will be the same thing as we talk about a woman being attacked in her self-confidence or her not being able to have any self-respect of her own. You know, it will be the male version of that, where we cut down a man to the point where he has no idea who he is, no self-respect, where he feels like he's nothing.
He's given up.
And right. And he gets to the point where he doesn't even feel like a man anymore. So when you emasculate someone, it will be like spiritually making them a eunuch, like cutting off their penis. Like they don't have any genitals or anything that indicates that they are a man or of the male gender. And in that we mean not what gender roles and gender society or pro, or is it not pro, but those who are against anti-gender agendas that would say nowadays what male is. When we speak of male, we speak of the things that go with a testosterone driven personality, testosterone driven personality, which is a male who is confident, who feels like he's the earner, who feels as if he's an achiever, who has a vision and he's the visionary, the man who goes out and gets, the one who
strong,
hunts,
protective,
you know, the one who's strong, the one who protects. These are the characteristics of a testosterone driven male. That is why the genders are the way they are, because testosterone is the hormone that gives a man all of these aggressive characteristics. So you'll see a lot of men today struggling with testosterone levels, actually hormonally, due to the foods that we eat. Isn't that scary? So a lot of our foods are emasculating our males physically, while I believe that I don't want to say the agenda of certain feminists, because like I said, certain feminists I believe are okay, but the really I think anti-male feminists,
they are the ones that are for emasculating.
They are for them emasculating them spiritually. So our men have a battle because they're already dealing with foods, and they're already dealing with societal issues like pollution and things of that nature, which affect their hormonal masculinity. So the production of testosterone in their body physically, and now they have something that comes at them mentally and spiritually emasculating them with this feminist movement that tells them anything that identifies with testosterone or an aggressive nature is to be frowned upon. So in that way,
and they're losing. They're losing. And so, and then you have the men who see that they're losing and they're fighting it. Yeah. So to them, to die to their selves for a woman at this rate is to allow a woman to emasculate them. They don't want there to be a difference. They don't want there to be any leeway. They don't want there to be any chances for a woman to take what they hold dear. And that's why I wanted to speak on this, because just because you want her to die to herself for you, and you want to get her to give you all of this. You don't want to give anything to her because she may be using her, because she may be using you. She may be trying to emasculate you. You want her to give, and you take. That's not a relationship. What is that?
I don't know. It's taking the advantage.
Yeah.
Instead of giving the advantage.
So then you end up being what these women are yelling about, when you end up being these women that end up being the men that these women talk about. You end up being the reason why they been able to be successful. When in all honesty, you just got to use your brain and not your penis. I see guys saying I want a bad bitch. Sorry, Mama Tay. But I see guys saying that. I see guys saying I want me a hood girl. But when females say it, it's wrong, right? I want me a I don't care about them thoughts. I want me a thought. Things like that. You're asking for problems. You're telling the world that you want something. You're telling the world that you are okay with the woman emasculating you, and then 10 weeks later you crying about how women ain't nothing. Okay.
Right. I firmly believe that to die to yourself as a man, men did a lot. When I was a kid, my dad had one suit. He worked several hours in the night at Chrysler. He had one suit. And my mom had a closet full of clothes, and I had a closet full of clothes. And I was this 5-year-old with a fur coat. And my mom was determined that my dad get me this little fur coat because she loved this fur coat. And I had all of this stuff, and my brothers had all of this stuff. But my dad had one suit, and he worked every day for his family, and he worked hard. And that was a man who was dying to himself for his family. It wasn't about his family. To him represented his success. And so in order for people to know that he was a man, he felt proof of that was that my wife goes out, she's dressed to the nines. My kids go outside, they're dressed to the nines. They look appropriate. They have on clothes that are befitting a family that is doing well. You know, my house is decorated to the nines, and we have the beautiful real wood furniture, not the Value City furniture. You know, it was everything that you had was a statement and a testament to this man and how he cared for his family. He died to himself. That's not an emasculation or emasculating. That is me showing that as I die to myself, my people prosper. The ones I love prosper. And I think that we've lost a big.
And we're not saying that's the example of every man gotta have one suit and buy just for his family. No, but we're saying that was his way of doing it.
His way of doing it. And every man dies to himself somehow for his family, you know. And I know men think that, oh, well, you know, I work hard and then she'll be like, I ain't spend enough time with her and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I can't be at work and with you at the same time. I know that that's a crisis and an issue that women have to deal with because we want you there with us.
But to me, that's not really much of an issue anymore because now everybody's working. Yeah. Now everybody's tired. Now everybody is like, I need my peace. But so that's not the issue. You have these women. It's not that they're not getting time. Momma Tre is these women. They want to lock these men down like to a doghouse. These women want to. Then women now have the means and the screwed up justification. The means is the justification is I'm bringing money in the house too now, so I have a say. You not to say you didn't have a say before, but I'm saying now I run it too. I'm top dog, and if I make more than you, you little dog. That's and so they I got off topic a little bit. Yeah. But they women do that now. And so it's not necessarily the time. It's wanting to keep track of them everywhere they go to make sure that they stay their dog. You are not allowed to be the neighbor's dog. You my dog.
and I want to say something to some women. You know, I have a stickler about absolute.
Thanks for calling me on that. Thank you for calling me on that.
Some women, and then there are some women who really do want that man to be like their child.
Oh my God!
There's some women who treat men like children because all they've ever been are mothers and nurturers, and their way of nurturing is to boss. Mm-mm. You know,
any man that allows me to boss him around,
the truth is that a man that's testosterone driven is not going to be bossed by anybody, not female or male. They're going to make their choices and their decisions, even with an employer. You know, the deal is that I do what I do because I need to make a living for my family. But don't get it twisted. This does not make me your slave, and you don't get to talk to me any kind of way. That's testosterone driven. And that's a man that says, hey, I'm going to do what I got to do for those that I love, but I'm all man about it as I do it. And I'm okay with who I am. It's okay to be testosterone driven. Testosterone driven, however, does not mean that you're a hoe. I need that to be clear for our brothers out there. It doesn't mean that you can get with several different women. It doesn't mean that you know how to manipulate and control and use your charisma to dupe stupid women. That's not what masculinity is. Masculinity is not the fact that you can spread your seed far and wide between women that will accept that, and that you can have all these women on a string while you play who's the pimp and who's the hoe. That's not what masculinity is. Masculinity is a testosterone-driven male who understands his place in society, his place in his family, and his place where God has placed him. And masculinity means that you take ownership of your family's protection. You take ownership of your family's production. You take ownership of your family's success. If your family is failing, it's your fault. That's the first law of management. And see, here's the deal. This is why I think that men are being emasculated nowadays voluntarily by the feminist movement, because
they don't want that responsibility.
They don't want that responsibility. They want the out. This offers them an out of finally not being the one that's responsible. Well, guess what? When God comes, he's still going to consider you responsible. When God calls to account for your family and why your family ended up where they were, he's still going to call you to account. Whether you think male that he is or isn't, whether you think she took control so it should be her fault or what have you, bottom line is the reality is God is not going to look to anybody else about your family but you. And if you abandon your family, then
I'm pretty sure that's why a guy looked at Adam and not Eve.
Adam was the first one he came to. He said, what did you do? We're going to start at the top because that's where the decision should have come from. It went from the snake to the woman to the man. And it should have been from the man to the woman to the snake. And unfortunately, that's what we find ourselves in. I find more people falling in love with animals nowadays and would fight for human rights. I mean, animal rights, but will not fight for human rights. We got kids being snatched up in human trafficking left and right, but people want to talk about this dog. Hey, I don't consider dog abuse okay, but what I consider even less okay, the fact that 33 girls came up missing in Berkeley 3 years ago and nobody in St. Louis knew it. I don't consider that okay.
Meep.
But I know about all of the dogs that have been transported and abused from Herman, Missouri. Why is that? Why was that in the news?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. Our world and our society is in serious trouble because we're operating backward. To emasculate our men is very dangerous because there's no one to take their place. And the first time God's going to come to call an account, he's going to say, Adam, where are you? He's coming for our men first.
Because they running. All right. So that pretty much covers it for the show tonight. Thank you if you watched. I appreciate it. We'll be back next week. New topics, new show, same segments.
Yes.
We played a game. After we tell the story, after we rant. This week I did a shout out. I won't do a shout out every week, but if I find someone I want to shout out about, I'll do it. Then I will rant.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the purpose of the rant. So Mr. Fix It Killzown trying to sit here and have a full discussion and fix the issue with the rant. The rant ain't for fixing. The rant is to rant. To rant is just to get something off your chest. Yeah, you get it off your chest, put it in a little bucket, and you throw it away. Or if you like my granny was, she had a little prayer box.
Yeah.
You write your prayer down, pray about it, and then you set it aside and let God work. The rant is we rant about it. Then we get it off our chest, put it in our little loopy rant box. Then we set it aside and then move on and work towards other things that we can discuss and talk about without ranting.
Yep.
Again, that is all. Be sure to look us up on Facebook. We got a group. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, on topics that we got going. It's called Gov-Na LoOpy, GOV-NA, Gov-Na LoOpy's Roundtable. Pretty much the only GOV-NA on Facebook, so it's not hard to find us at all. So go ahead and search that. It's nice to discuss this with people. If you guys want to comment in the chat, that would be great. Share it, like it, comment, all of that jazz. And you guys have a great rest of your Sunday night and a good week, a blessed week, starting Monday.